Hello, everyone, and welcome to this fine new episode of the Ubuntu Touch Q&A, episode 147, streamed live on August 17th, 2024. My name is Alfred, and joining me tonight is...
Happily, welcome everyone, and happy to be there with you.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. Glad you could make it on time here. So, very good stuff. Let's head over straight to the news. We do have a few changes lined up here on GitLab over the last 2 weeks. Not a lot of them, but the what they amount to is very much like understandably cool. And we get to things like where was that? Enable 3-finger window drag even when the overlay is displayed in Lumiri. Hiding a hint when closing and it's not empty. Thanks to Koji for those. Add swipe down to temporarily show the top bar when in full screen. So we're seeing. I know that Koji is having a lot of fun playing around with Lumiri and making it cool for Koji's own use cases. But cool to see some changes trickle down here, and we can enjoy them as well. We're also seeing some Lumiri sync monitor changes where SSO online accounts is in use, not Lumiri online accounts, and a few Debian packaging efforts where building against Noble and also Debian testing is taken care of. And yeah, that's pretty much well, there's also sync with upstream for libmce, glib repower dstub, a few packages that you may have not heard of ever at all are getting upgraded as well and changed so that they work and they keep on working also with Noble. So yeah, I mean it's a very short like skim through the changes here, but they amount to something cool here.
And it's summertime also, so yeah, people are in vacation or traveling with family. So yeah,
So yeah,
we can't be 100% all the time.
yes,
We
yes.
need the
So
rest.
I also personally two changes that I have been working on that are not merged that I just want to mention because they are interesting very much. I'm pretty sure about that for Mir and Qt Mir respectively, where we're still using Mir 1.8 even on Noble at first until we upgraded everything to Mir 2.x, which we have uh, had some little discussions about how we could approach this. And in the meantime, we want to, or I personally want, things like subsurfaces in Wayland and also Waydroid to work properly so that Waydroid in the future will be able to have each application, each Android application, have its own window in Lumiri so that every Android app is manageable or understandably something different compared to the other Android app versus everything stuck within one window. For that, we need some changes regarding Wayland subsurface support. Mir 2.x already has those subsurface z-axis movement, like move something below another surface, move something above some other surface. Those changes have been in Mir 2.x for some time, but my implementation was first, and I did it for Mir 1.8, and I've cleaned it up. I am proposing those as merge requests for the future, and also that ties in the Qt Mir changes that Marius has started working on, that I'm picking up and polishing now, trying to get them up on par with what we want. And yeah, so this should allow us in the future to have Waydroid and other applications work better on the Lumiri with Wayland support, especially as I mentioned already, per app windows with Waydroid. So I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait until this is fully functioning the way that I want. And as soon as I have something to show, I will share the news for sure.
Yeah, yeah, can't wait.
All right.
And I
So,
guess many people also are waiting for it.
oh yeah,
And
but understandably.
yeah, and what we don't have to wait for is the new application or updated application from the OpenStore. So if
I think I
you,
should add something to the stage here, right?
yeah, please.
There we go.
Okay, so the first application is iQuit that has been updated a few weeks ago, just after the last OTA. So yeah, this app helps you quit smoking. I don't know how, but that's cool. I never tried it because I never needed it.
Oh, look
So
at
thank you,
you.
Mick, for this app. So that's great that he keeps updating it. So thank you, Mick. We have also mobile ING BE Bank application. So I suppose it's a web app to access the mobile website of the ING Belgium website. So yeah, useful for people in Belgium. So thanks, LuxTay11 for this upgrade. I think just some polishing with maybe the new layout of the website or something like this. But yeah, actually, it's I say, oh no, it's a new app. I missed that. That's a
Yeah,
new app because I see first build. But
yeah.
I was pretty sure I saw it before, but I was clearly wrong.
You were dreaming it, and all of a sudden it was there.
Yeah, even if I'm not in Belgium. Another new application that is pretty cool from Matthias Delmans is the image composer. So it allows you to just patch several pictures together to create some nicer picture. Yeah.
Mhm.
The example is not the best one, I guess, but at least it shows its purpose.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something great that can be really useful, and that yeah, many people use this kind of app on Android, and I think image manipulation is something hard and something really useful on a mobile because
Could
many
be
people just snap picture and just post it in social. So
could it
even
be
if we are not the better demographic for that, but
I think we could use it for making memes though, right?
I think so too. Yeah.
There we go. There we have another purpose for it.
Yeah, and with annotates that or any finger writing
Yeah.
apps, then you can add text and something like that. So yeah, yeah, URL dispatcher has been also updated by Lionel. So yeah, thank you, Lionel, for keeping up the good work. So yeah, I guess yeah, hello, really prefix URL. So okay, so a feature from the last update was not fully integrated, and they fixed that. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
thanks for this update. Um, we have also this new app from Synchronix Technologies. It's an Odoo client. It's an alpha release just to test the first features and for the author, the main feature, and so people can test it out. At least people using Odoo, and at UB Ports we do.
Mhm.
So yeah, testing out the features and then iterate and improve things from here. So yeah, very welcome app from Synchronix Technologies. So thank you. We have also, this is also a new app, if I'm not mistaken. It's a browser leak by
yeah.
LuxDay11. This app allows you to find if there has been leak based on your web browser, but I don't know what kind of leak you can search with that. But
It's related to if I understand it correctly, it's related to WebRTC and some DNS side information leaks that could happen even though you're running through an encrypted connection. And this application helps you figure out whether you are susceptible to this.
okay, I understand better. And it also helps you find information on your fingerprint. So fingerprinting for web browsers is a way to identify you through a unique signature leaked intentionally by your web browser, because the web browser authenticates you, not really authenticate you, but have some information like the versions, the OS you're running on, several aspects. It's sometimes you have the how it's called, the string that you can fake sometimes.
Oh, the user agent.
Yeah, the user agent. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There are other things that your browser can leak. So yeah, this helps you understand what can be leaked through your web browser. So thank you, LuxRay, for this app. Quite useful for people focused on privacy. We have also an update of StormReader. StormReader is a way to read ebooks, PDF files, what is called CBZ and CBR files. I don't know the last two type. The most popular probably are EPUB and PDF.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Ebook
reader. Thank you for this update, Emanuelis Corse. We also have Verfais.
Yay!
Yeah. Ah, great.
Not bad. I mean, I'm not Dutch, but you did not bad at all.
At least if you're happy, I'm really happy. We will ask our Dutch friends to confirm. So this app is from Sender and allows you to search for traffic information and also prices on gasoline and diesel. I think it's the same thing that I just said, but maybe not. So yeah, you also can find electric chargers, if I remember correctly, from this app. So yeah, great app for personal vehicle users in Netherlands and maybe elsewhere. I didn't see if there was an update on. Yeah, no, seems no other country has been added yet. Amasfish also by Joseph Leach has been updated recently. They fixed a build of Mapbox on Ubuntu Touch. Okay, great. So Mapbox is usually used for GPS location and map display. So I don't know what it's capable of doing on this, but maybe it's something else. At least that's great that such a useful app for smartwatch users is available for Ubuntu Touch. At least I know a couple of persons that are really happy to have it. So thank you again. We also have an update on Radio Nova, which is a radio application, a web radio application from France. And thank you, Guado, for this update. So yeah, I don't see anything in the changelog. And also UT Tesla has been updated and they adapted it to small Tesla API changes. I don't know what kind of changes happened but maybe that's behind the scene because the API used is not the official one from Tesla, but maybe the API they rely on evolved to just take care of it, because it should go, the previous API should go end of life recently. So yeah. So thank you, Richard Ulrich, for this this update, and yeah, keeping this app up to date for the users. And that's it for the roundup. I should just mention that Aruba Lander just told us that it was pronounced very well. So
There
thank
we
you. Thank you for the confirmation.
All right. So there we go. That was a great roundup of news and new apps and updated apps. So let's jump over to the sponsors real quick. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we have to thank a lot of sponsors.
We do.
Thank you, Smooth, Vola, Pine64, Private Internet Access, DigitalOcean, GitLab, Weinstein, OCA, Gartner and Associate Consulting Incorporated, Netlify, Cloudrun, CodeLutin, Tixia, and Gandhi.net. And I did it, finally. I promised it a couple of months, maybe, ago. I did it. I updated the patron list. So thanks to all our patrons over on Patreon or LibrePay, because that's where all of them come from. So a great thank you to Acil, Asmund Kopeng, Conspy, is a con and a spy at the same time. Daniel Franchek, Heather Ellsworth, JT, Kenneth Drew, Luigi 311, Marty McFly Jr., nice one, Mr. T10001, Omegas, PK, Robin Hood, Rondius, Spendir Hughes, Stephen Grunter, Taffitson, and Will Atwood. Thank you all for your continued support. Yeah, you've been, most of you, long-time donators for the foundation, and it's highly appreciated. Now that I have some access to these pages, I might find out other information, but at the moment it's not yet there. If you want us to continue what we do to help improve Ubuntu Touch and to support the community, please head up to ubpost.com/donate to help us further. We rely a lot on donations and our sponsors, and yeah, it helps us continue what we do. So highly appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Also, a detail that I didn't know but I learned is that not all our patrons are mentioned here, because we have a lot of them. Yes. And so to be part of the list, because if we have to cite everyone, it will be a very long time, because it's more than 100 persons. So it's only the person donating more than, I think it's 15 euros per month or equivalent. If it's in the ballpark with conversion, I will also take your name, because yeah, I realized we have more than 100 patrons. So thank you, everyone. Even the people that we do not cite and butcher the name.
There we go. All right. So how about some questions from the forums? We do take those questions every, let's say around Monday, we release a forum post. Let's just put it that way, where we ask for questions for the next Q&A episode. And this is what we've gotten. And this is actually a long list of questions, a few questions here that we will go through right now. And we will start with Wally. Hi, all. At some point, I read that some of the money that the UbiPorts Foundation may get goes to providing phones to developers if needed. Many of us have an old UT-capable device or two around, and many of us non-devs would like to contribute more to the project. To my mind, if there are any aspiring devs out there who might not be able to afford or find a viable phone for UT where they are, getting them a phone is important. Does it seem feasible or worthwhile for me to try to set up a way for aspiring devs to request a phone and for existing UT users to donate one? Thanks a zillion for all your work and for hosting these cheery Q&As. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, there is definitely some involvement of getting developers devices so that they can put Ubuntu Touch onto them. Most of those porting efforts are still community-based. There are very rare cases where developers get phones in their hands because they seem like, for example, the Fairphone 4 started out with that, right? And Fairphone 4 was basically non-existent until some people, including me, got one, and I was gifted one, so I took time to bring the port forward, make it work as well as possible, including others, of course. And yeah, there is definitely a benefit to giving people a donated device, but I think old UT capable device might not be the best idea. Old devices, I don't know.
I think this question is twofold. The first aspect is what you just tell. So yeah, in the past, devices were sent to developers to help port Ubuntu Touch to these devices, namely the Fairphone 4. The Fairphone 5 is in the process. Developers just received their device. Some still are waiting for custom to accommodate. Yeah, so it's not easy. But I think, yeah, the old device capable is something interesting because it can help people that want to develop applications. If you don't have access to, we have this kind of person coming in the chat on Telegram and just saying that, okay, is it possible to port to my device, which is a Samsung A something? No, there's no port at the moment. Yeah, but I would like to do some development, tinker with it. So yeah, maybe this kind of exchange can help people and bring them to the community. So yeah, it's not really helpful in the way that it will bring Ubuntu Touch to a lot of new devices, because if it's a new device, you may not want to give it for free to someone else. So yeah, it's interesting at least, and yeah, maybe if I saw on the forum, and I think it maybe was Wally, but I don't remember the name. Sorry, someone that did an exchange of his device that they don't have use for, and someone was happy to take it to do some testing of applications. So yeah.
One of Florian's ports started like this. As someone asked in during a Q&A episode, and Florian took it and maintained it for a while. So there we go. That's also one way of how it could work, right?
Yeah. So yeah, for maybe old device that someone wants to port and no one is really taking it, and maybe it can be just a motivation for someone else that has maybe if a developer has started a port on an old device that broke and say, okay, I'm stopping the port, then maybe it can help to bring it forward.
All right. Should we go over to the next question from Clicker?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to take it?
I will start, at least ask the question.
Okay.
Clicker says, I look forward to watching the Q&A. Thank you. Hopefully, it's not a problem if I just rattle off several questions for the devs. Okay, no problem. That's what we are here for. So they continue to say that they are new here. And first question is, how many developers are currently involved in developing the base Ubuntu Touch OS, not including unofficial app or core app developers? Yeah,
That's a good question.
that's
Not including core developers.
yeah, core app developers. So
App developers.
it's
Okay,
it's
yeah,
the
well,
operating system aspect.
okay, yeah, let's put it in the ballpark of like 7 to 10, fluctuating sometimes depending on how people can allocate their time and resources. Something like that, pretty much.
Yeah, I was trying to find
At least,
a
from
more
the
accurate number from GitLab, but
yeah,
I'm
it's
not.
more than that for sure, but it's a fluctuating number. So there
Yeah,
might be that the number of people joining our development syncs every week is not as large as you might think. I mean, it's large, but could be larger potentially. But there are more drive-by patches that people like contribute, like Kuji stuff, and I mean, not to say that Kuji is a drive-by contributor, but not just, but yeah, you get what I mean.
yeah. So yeah, there are maybe, I don't know, maybe 3, 4 times so this amount of people, but coming and going, and really the core developers of Ubuntu Touch are not that many. And also, how do you account also for people porting that can just fix something in the same way because they stumble upon some bug and maybe re-implement something, so it works for more devices. Yeah, hard to answer this one, but yeah, not a lot of people.
Yeah,
So the community is quite small, and the number of actual developers of the operating system is quite small.
yeah. Okay.
Next question is, what is the next target version of for Ubuntu Touch? 2004 already seemed a bit old when ported it. Would you be open to skipping to 2204 and going directly to 2404?
That's what we're doing.
Absolutely. Yes, probably the next OTA or the one after this one will be with Noble, so 2404. So it's coming.
Yay. Finally.
Winter, this winter, maybe.
Let's see.
No, it's getting close. So yeah, hopefully it will be sooner than the later. But yeah, progress is made. They also ask another long question. With that in mind, previously supported devices are subsequently dropped from the supported/compatible recommendation. But is this a result of just having low resources and unable to test and port on all those devices? Or do the devices become explicitly incompatible? Take, for example, a random 1604 5-star fully compatible device. So it's a Suzu.
Fine. Experience.
Yeah.
That one is still supported though. It might be coming across as not supported because there are not many changes happening in the Gits, and because there are no changes required for the port themselves anymore, but rather the operating system might need some adaptation here or there. But this device is also still compatible with 2004, and I will try to ensure that this will also be the case for 2404. I can't guarantee it right now because the kernel version, the old 4.4 based kernel, might not be providing all the features that Ubuntu Touch would like to have at this moment, but we'll see.
Yeah, and basically the jump from 1604 to 2004 had also system D involved, and by using not all older kernels were able to support it without heavy rework or
Yes.
additional patches. So
yes, I remember for not only for that for example, the C groups support in the kernel needs some slight modification for older kernel versions, where supporting some systemd functionality requires kernel involvement. And for example, here on the Pixel 3a, I have worked on a few changes regarding not device C groups, like C group accounting for CPU accounting. That was the one. CPU accounting for noticing how much CPU time has been allocated to a process. And what I try to ensure is having statistics be more accurate about how long an application has been running and not. So those things, it's basically taking changes from newer kernels and shoehorning them into older kernel versions, which may or may not work and might be very much of a hassle to support. But sometimes it works. It worked on this one, and yeah.
Yeah, and part of your question also is about what is supported and unsupported ports. We have different kind of information on the website, so we try to put in perspective also if a port is actively maintained. So that's what Alfred mentioned about the Suzu. I don't remember the Xperia X. Okay. So yeah, so if the port is not maintained regularly, if it's more than 6 months, I think it's the limit, without any merge, then we say, okay, maybe the device is not supported yet. And for the ports, for the move from 2004 to 2404, it will depend also on the maintainer of the port, because if you have a port for your device, let's say Pixel 3, for example, and if Alfred, to not point any finger at anyone, don't want to do the job to make the port for the Pixel 3a able to move to Noble, then it will not happen. We will have someone to step in and just take the port and make another one with Noble.
Yeah, so I'm also pretty sure that when it comes to Ubuntu 2604 or something higher than that, we might be running into trouble for those devices specifically, because there is more and more reliance on newer Linux kernel features that are just not able to be pulled through with the old kernel versions. And that makes it harder to support older devices on newer software. So hard to pull off. But then again, the Xperia X is a phone from 2016. So it's been some time. And I mean, it was my first introduction into Ubuntu Touch like that. Not my very first, but the first that people made use of. And just to put it into perspective, with those devices, even though we like them and we want to keep on using them, sometimes there are technical reasons not to go forward, and technical and also resource reasons, because sometimes developers could ensure that those things work, but it's a lot to ask for.
Yeah, basically, if a device is left behind, it's because no one puts the effort to bring it to the new version,
Mm,
or it can also be that it's really, really hard to maintain because of missing feature in the kernel, and uh, it's really not feasible to just patch an old kernel and make it into the latest version, a mainstream
mm,
version, because also in the yeah, far, far away in the yeah, a long time ago, um, Google made a lot of specific changes to those kernel to be able to run Android.
yeah,
So yeah, basically uh, time and effort, and sometimes also too old kernel, and it's really basically impossible to make it mainline again. It's
yes,
too much effort.
yeah.
It's not worth it. It's not worth anyone's time to just do this. If someone wants to do it, fine, let's go. You will be remembered as a hero for this device. But yeah, a lot of efforts.
I see the next question in this section is also very important to mention. How vulnerable to security slash kernel exploits are users going to be going forward with the 1604 UT phone? Very much, very much. Old
Yeah,
kernels that are not tailored to the security needs of the base OS, and the base OS being unsupported by now, right? Not necessarily by upstream, but at least by us, where we don't want to waste our time and efforts to uh, bring those things forward or continue working on those because it doesn't make sense. And yeah, so there is definitely a risk there. It's not necessarily like an all open blasted door and a completely unhinged like levels of no security at all, but because we still have app armor and stuff like that, but it's very risky and we have no one verifying that this is going to stay secure.
yeah. Basically, there's no physical protection, if I may say so, because the bootloader um, has to remain unlocked for basic reasons. I will say it's
Yeah.
not impossible to lock it again, but it might be impossible for us to maintain.
To
So
to have the bootloader lockable again, we need some changes to the way that that operating system installations happen,
yeah,
upgrades happen, the way that those things are getting deployed to users. And we don't have that yet. We don't have it at all. We have talked about this. I've written a blog post about this years ago. I've mentioned it in in this very show here, but we are not at the stage where we can ensure that this is the standard, right?
yeah. But yeah, and remember also that because a vulnerability is embedded in your kernel, doesn't mean it can be exploited. So that's also something that can help mitigate the risks. But yeah, basically, we have no way to patch those things quite easily,
Mm,
and yeah, so that's also. And yeah, if your phone has been stolen, then anyone can flash back an Android. But yeah, usually we have also old phones, so maybe not the target of many thieves. So
mm.
hopefully, it will not be a huge issue.
You can't have Snapchat on this phone. You don't need it. You don't need to steal it. Oh well, you can have Snapchat by now with Waitroid though.
Yeah. And the last question from Clicker is lastly, in regards to apps, are they sandboxed from each other, Or could I end up writing an app that someone else then writes a specific exploitative app util for? Yeah, basically they are sandboxes, one from the other. The only way to communicate through different apps is using the Content Hub or using a specific feature to share contacts, share information, export things, and or use unconfined apps. Because we allow also to have unconfined apps, but there are warnings to make people aware of what they can do.
Mm. Also, App Armor ensuring that the applications are stuck inside of their own playground, that they can't throw around like toys into the faces of little kids in other playgrounds, right? So those things have been thought out from the start to allow not trustworthy applications to run to a certain degree, but not to have them access everything.
Yeah, privacy focused. Well, thank you for all this question, Clicker. The next set of questions is from Kimo that says, "Hello everyone, the happy thing is that the App Store is making remarkable progress, but it lacks an integrated messaging application. I mean, it has voice and video calling, and no, we don't have voice and video calling. And I want to ask how difficult that is, and I miss the XMPP client as an application, not Converse.js like Kden, as I remember. I know that teleports works well, but there are many who do not use unreliable applications." Yeah. I also noticed that the Delta Touch application has made great progress and provided many great features. This means that it is possible to have an integrated and distinctive application. As for instant alerts, is there a solution? Okay, I don't know if alerts is a question or is an application or not, but excuse me, I love UT and I love it to continue and develop. And I also love that it has all the users need, the most important of which are means of communication app. I wished that I had experience in programming. I would have contributed as much as possible, believe me. Finally, thank you for your tremendous efforts. And we know that you suffer from a shortage of human and financial resources. Thank you very much for your efforts. Yes. Thank you, Arubai Lander, for asking them to clarify the questions. So the questions are, first one is, can the focus be on a complete and open source messaging application, such as an official messaging application, for example, XMPP, that has the feature of voice and video calling? Long time topic, the video calling feature.
We've been talking about those things very often on the show, very much, and we would like to have something. And my hopes were with the SIP enablement to, like, basically just have something to build on top of. But the SIP efforts have stalled, and this has also not progressed very much. So we do still need a way to run background services and enabling them to access the microphone when the user allows it to, when it's needed, not in unnecessary situations where you might be spied on. We want to prevent that and other things, but nothing is stopping a developer from achieving this. It's just we need more developers to put those things forward and make those things in the first place, rather than us just dreaming of them, right?
Yeah, this is just a matter of getting someone involved enough for a long period of time, because it won't happen in a couple of weeks. It's a many months project. So yeah, basically it's just a manpower issue. And just not to spend too much time on this one. The next one is, what are the expected difficulties in making an application work with video and voice calling? Okay, this is also what we just said. Basically, the struggle is not about technical aspects, literally, but the time and effort required to bring them forward. And so the second aspect of the question is there a solution to the problem of instant notification in applications? Yes, we have. I lost my words.
Push notifications.
Push notifications. Thank you. Push notifications are available in Ubuntu Touch. It just requires the developer to use this kind of system. So, but if you don't, how to say that? If you don't own the whole stack required to send push notification to the UbiPort system, then it will be difficult. For example, we had help from Telegram to be able to send notification from Telegram to UbiPort. So thanks to them, we could achieve that. For Signal, and namely, damn my words today.
Slate in Europe. Don't forget.
What is this app?
It's the heat, and we might need more beer. We need more beer.
So Axolotl cannot use the push notifications on Ubuntu Touch because Signal wouldn't make modification on their side of things to send push notification to UbiPorts because they don't trust us. So basically, if you own the full stack, then no problem. If you can create an app and send push notification at any moment if you own the servers that sends this notification and you register properly to the UbiPorts. So basically, we have something. It's just that if you ask Meta to do the change for WhatsApp to send notification to Ubuntu Touch and to UbiPorts, it won't happen.
Yes, exactly. All right. So last question in here. Alagiri is asking 4 questions, not 3, but 4. In today's Q&A, I want to know the Lumiri PPA and how it is to be installed and used. Now it is not possible to install Lumiri Desktop without PPA. Is the latest method to install Lumiri Desktop in Ubuntu 24.04 Noble Numbed? Yes, it is. There is a PPA. This is an in-development PPA for now, as far as I'm aware. But nothing is stopping you from giving it a shot, like installing it the old-fashioned PPA way and installing Lumiri Desktop Session on top. But it is more related to, the PPA is more related to testing newer changes on top of what is already in the Ubuntu archives. And with the Ubuntu Archive 24.04 release, we do have a good glimpse into what Lumiri can look already. And it's not going to differ too much from the PPA version right now at this point in time. It might in the future, but right now, since many changes that have happened in Lumiri and QtMir and the whole stack, that means that since then we haven't been able to add more features. We haven't been able to add too much of new bug fixes. Some of them maybe, but in the end, the PPA right now is not at the stage where we could say, okay, this is the go-to way to enjoy new, fresh Lemiri on top of Ubuntu 24.04. This might take some time, but I personally think that this PPA approach would be a very good approach for achieving exactly that. Okay, second question. We're going for another. Maybe it's more, or no, it's three
It
questions. I don't know.
has already been answered, the second one, about the move from
Yeah, right.
focal to noble. Yes, we will move from focal to noble, and
Very good.
without what
Okay.
was 2204, I don't remember.
Jammy
Because
jellyfish.
I have half brain.
Jammy jellyfish. How could you forget that one?
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't care for jellyfish so much.
They sting. They hurt.
Yeah, and they don't taste good.
Oh my god. People and their food.
Yeah, food. Uh,
No,
the
it's more like
Numbat I
this,
want to try someday.
like this SpongeBob SquarePants where they take jellyfish and they squeeze them like lemons, stuff like that. No.
Yeah, I prefer octopus.
All right. So the next question is why are we not promoting devices less costly and freely available all over the world? Well, that's a lot to ask for because the reality is that first of all, the devices that we can support are those that people developing the system get in their hands. And less costly is relative, first and foremost. This is hard to pinpoint, but, and I get the argument. Of course, it would be cool to have somewhat affordable devices, but Pixel 3a is the A in the 3a, as far as I'm aware, stands for affordable, and that's the whole point of me still supporting it, because it's not only my personal opinion the best port at the moment, but also the most affordable one. And with that, we I always see this argument of why are we not promoting more devices or less costly devices, whereas we are a very small team, we have very little resources, and we need to keep our focus straight. So with that focus straightened out, we cannot support every device that is out there, even though they might be cheap to get. And sometimes that is the case, but sometimes that very often it's not possible to pull off, because it doesn't even happen for Lineage OS, and Lineage OS is very big, to say the
Yeah.
least, right? In
And
terms of
if we
developers.
also, if we want to push as many devices to the users as possible, it has to be some popular devices, not just some weird thing that is. And also, depending on your market, it can be very different. And we saw it with a variety of Chinese phones that have different configurations for different markets. So if you have the Chinese version, it works this way. If you have the Japanese version, you have something different. If you have the European version, then you will have to make some adjustment too. So yeah, for one device, it can mean a lot of trouble because of different markets addressed by those manufacturers. So
Yeah.
not easy to have the one device that fits all the needs.
Yes, exactly. All right. The last question is: we have to. It's more of a statement, less than a question. We have to provide banking apps now. Everybody requires them. Well,
Yeah.
look, we've had a banking web app presented today or tonight, and I am aware of at least one bank where it works, namely mine. I'm glad that it works for me in Waydroid. But banking apps on Ubuntu Touch is hard to pull off, because we're just so much of a niche community that they might not care about it. And even if we present the benefits to banks, they might still be very hesitant and want to play the game according to their terms and not according to the terms of the users. Who knows?
Also, to be familiar with the banking world, or at least the background where they make apps, it's not the banks that make apps. It's
Also,
outsourced, and the subcontractor is often big consulting companies that don't care about the quality of their product. They just care about the contract they signed with their customer, and they just want to satisfy uh,
they
the
want to check
requirements.
boxes. They want to
Yeah,
take check boxes
yeah.
and they just want to tick them.
Requirements checked.
Yeah.
Requirements checked. Okay, they want to use a secure system embedded in the phone. Okay, Google provides them with something easy to use and to implement. They will do this. No thinking. They just do what they are told to do, and it goes for the subcontractor. It goes also for the bank, because the bank also have regulations that they have to comply with, and those regulations often don't think about niche market like Ubuntu Touch or portability, because they just know the too big iOS, and also subcontractors use a lot of frameworks that are magically porting the app to the two main
Yeah.
OSs. And
Yeah.
so they will never make any effort to do differently than use those frameworks. So
They have the money, but they don't have the guts.
yeah, and also their app will not be backward compatible with very old phones that use, let's say, an Android 3 or 4 version, because you need to update your phone because of security issues. No, you need to upgrade the software, and they don't want to do it because of financial reasons, not security issues or technical limitations. They just don't want to make the effort to support old OSs.
Yeah.
We do the same because we cannot afford the manpower to maintain those old devices. And but if someone wants to do it, he can. That's the benefit of open source.
Yeah.
So yeah, we cannot move banks. It's too hard to lift.
All right.
Yeah.
That was the last question.
That was the last question from the forum. We have still a couple of minutes. So
Counting down.
if you see something in the chat.
I see something indeed. Yeah, I like this one. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't like this.
What?
No, because it's a good port, but is it the best? Really?
Depends. Hey, it's my child. I like my child.
Of course you like your child. Your child is the best one in the world, like every child for every parent.
Oh, of course. No, there's an interesting one. This one, how the browser is coming along. Well, I have not spent too much effort over the last few months, but I am in contact with a few developers over at WP WebKit, where we have been talking about how to get the graphics acceleration even better, more supported with their new approach to graphics. Right now, the browser works with the old approach. It's okay. It's 60 frames per second on the Pixel 3a, but it could be better and it could be more universal without like slimming down the layers in between that might not be necessary, and also integrating it with the drivers that are mostly shipped with our Android-based devices. So getting those things up on par. But I have at least a few ideas on how to make the browser work pretty well. I might consider releasing a test click soon with the old approach, where you can at least log into Twitter, you can send files, you can use your email, web mail interface without it complaining that your browser is unsupported. But it will not support the camera for now. It will not support many other things for now, and that just needs more time.
Yeah, a lot of time to make a new web browser, even with an existing engine.
Mm. I'm not gonna write my own browser engine. Forget that.
Yeah. I saw something that I want to answer also. It was from Conspy as well. So
ASP.
I love your username.
Uh,
Not enough to be a con, just to have to be a spy.
which one is it?
Would it make sense to try porting to a new device without any programming knowledge?
Oh, this one.
Yeah, if
Well,
I guess so. If you're tech savvy, or at least if you like to tinker with things, I think, and
figuring out
if you
problems.
and if you have a lot of free time,
Yeah.
yeah, it might be worth it, because and I think it will be rewarding also, because yeah, if you have this device, you want it to work with Ubuntu Touch, and you get to a point where you are happy with it, and even if the fingerprint doesn't work, you don't care. You have it running, connecting to Wi-Fi, to 4G. Yeah, I guess it will be a really, really, really good adrenaline rush in your
Mm.
vein. You will be stunned. Yeah. So yeah, but you need to have the will and also the time, because yeah, you have to be prepared for a long period of time, or trying to figure things out, and of course asking people online. It could be about development, scripting, or it could be just about understanding the operating system, how it works, and what is this project, and because
Mm.
yeah, you have a lot of things. An operating system, it's not easy.
Let's just say many people who compile kernels are not necessarily programmers themselves either. So this way you could at least say, hey, let's give it a shot, right?
Yeah, yeah. Just to compile kernel thing, I did it in my youth, I would say, and I didn't understand anything. I just run the command and
Yeah.
waited for something, and I tweaked few parameters, but it was for me the same thing as tweaking the Windows registry when I was using Windows, so before 2001.
Mm. Wow, that's been some time.
Yeah, since 2001, never used Windows on my personal computer.
Wow. I remember compiling my ATI drivers, the FGLRX drivers for OpenSUSE, whatever SUSE it was back then, and getting Counter-Strike to run in Wine with that. Yay, that was
I
cool.
compiled my USB driver to use internet.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
long time
All
ago.
right. What do you think? I think that's a long. We're over the hour already, so I think we
Yeah,
should leave it at that.
yeah. Thank
Good.
you, everyone, for those amazing questions. It has been a long run of questions, so thank you, everyone, and thank you for the people in the chat. It was absolutely a blast to have you there.
Yay!
And
Very
thanks,
nice.
Alfred, to be there.
Thank you too. Thanks for being here.
I miss you when you're not here.
Oh, hey, that's private talk. All right. Thanks a lot, everyone, and let's keep this show going. For the next time, enjoy the rest of the night or day, wherever you are. And we'll see each other or hear each other next time.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye. And
This will
stream.
become a meme.